what's happening, how we're going, how we're feeling. Basically, I want to thank you guys so much for so much feedback on my last few videos. I feel so like giddy. Like I literally never thought it would help as many people as it did, and I'm just so happy that the videos that I'm trying to pump out are exactly what you guys are after, and you're finding that are really helping you. As I learn, I feel like a lot of people struggle to find resources to learn these things from, because I know I found it really difficult to find things that were relevant and that were easy to understand and that were straight to the point. There wasn't any tough language to understand, like really big words, or like skipped over a few things and I was like, what the heck, like I don't know even what that means. How am I supposed to understand this big concept if I don't know what this little thing means? But anyway, that's a whole rant. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate every single one of you. I wouldn't be doing this without you, and I'm just super glad that's helping you as much as it is. Today is a video on astrology. Astrology is literally like my favorite topic to talk about. I could literally talk about it for hours on end. It is so interesting to learn about, especially because it affects you as an individual and affects others around you. And it's just really interesting to see how it affects you. This is the dead basics of astrology. I will continue making like astrology videos and kind of building on the beginner's knowledge a little bit, but I thought it would just be a really nice start for basics for someone who has literally just heard the word astrology and been like, that sounds kind of interesting, but what the heck is it? So I've written some notes on my iPad. I'm gonna go over a few different things about it. I hope it helps you guys in some sort of way, because otherwise that's a bit shit. Firstly, there are 4 elements in astrology. There is fire, earth, air, and water. Within these 4 elements, there's the zodiac signs. So there's 12 zodiac signs. For the fire element, there's Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. In the air energy, there's Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And then for the earth energy, there's Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Water energy, there's Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So with those energies, they affect the way the zodiac act. So earthy energy is grounded energy. Air energy is logical thinking, intellectual, everything with the mind. Water is emotions. Fire is passionate. Those are like the rough ideas. If you would like to see the video on the zodiac signs and like the characteristics of each zodiac sign, let me know, because I'm happy to do that. To kind of give you a rough idea how 12 zodiacs came about, it was split up into 12 constellations, like years, like literally millions, thousands of years ago. And it would split up into 12 constellations that the sun would spin through within a year. So as we know, there's 12 months in a year, there's 12 zodiac signs. So the sun passes through each zodiac sign within the year, and then it starts again in the next year. That's how each zodiac sign came about, and why there's 12, and how it even got there in the first place. So that's kind of interesting to know. Moving on to planets, because planets are just as important as the actual zodiac signs and knowing the different elements and things like that. The first planet is Sun. It's ruled by Leo and transits in between the sign within 1 month. So transit basically means the planet moves between each zodiac sign within that certain amount of time. It transits through each zodiac sign within 1 month, because there's 12 months, 12 zodiac signs. The sun represents the ego, the core of who you are, your basic personality, things like that. It helps other people and yourself understand how you are as a person and how you make choices and why you make those choices. For example, my sun is in Libra. I make choices very badly because Libras are super indecisive and they struggle making a decision. They just want to be people pleasers. So they'll usually put their decision of what they actually want last and what other people want first. It's so messed up. I know. I can't help it. So then the next planet is the moon, which rules Cancer, which is pretty cool, but Cancers are very emotional. And this transits every 2 to 3 days. So the moon goes through the zodiac signs quite quickly. But the moon also affects how you feel. Depending on the sign of what your moon is in, that also affects what the moon is currently in now. For example, the moon is currently in Scorpio, which means everyone's feeling a little bit sensitive. There could be some suppressed emotions coming up to the surface because Scorpios like to bury things a little bit, but they tend to come up quite quickly. It represents emotions, the mood, instincts, what moods are common, and what instincts drive them to do something. So this is really helpful if you have a crush and you can get their birth chart and you can look up their moon sign. I'm going to talk about all of this soon. Life-changing. Do it. I promise. And they will have no idea what you're doing. You can just say, you can literally just tell them you're looking at your birth chart. They don't understand what that is. They literally don't care, I promise. They can ask their mum if they don't know, because it will make everything just amazing. If they ask your mum for you, like, I'm literally going on a rant, but like, if they ask your mum for you, like, they're in love with you. I could do boy advice as well. I could do boy videos. Ciao. Anyway. Mercury, it rules Gemini and Virgo, and this transits every 3 to 4 weeks. So again, quite regular. It represents the mind, communication, how one thinks, how one talks. It also represents the structure of thoughts. For example, my Mercury is in Scorpio, which means, it basically means that I'm quite intense with the way I think. I tend to think things thoroughly and really in depth. Honestly, a bit of an issue. Next is Venus. This rules Taurus and Libra, and this transits every 4 to 5 weeks. So Venus represents love, attraction, beauty, pleasure, all the good things. It's also about sociability. It's about what a person finds attractive and beautiful in their own eyes. It's really interesting to see someone else's Venus in a person that you like and compare your Venuses, because that impacts a lot, especially if you're looking at getting into a relationship with them, because it will kind of tell you if you're compatible or not. Seeing if the signs are compatible or not, it all comes down to the top 3, which are your moon, your sun, your rising sign, and your Venus sign, if you like them. If you're wanting to take it a bit further with them, you could match really well with their sun and their rising, but their Venus could be totally opposite to what you are after or what's compatible with your sign, and it could totally wreck the whole thing. So it's super important to know their Venus. It helps you recognize how they receive love and how they attract love. Next is Mars. This rules Aries, and this transits every 6 to 7 weeks. So this is a planet about aggression, about sex, action and desire, how a person takes action, and what makes them passionate. Mars is basically just about passionate, assertion, sexual pleasures and desires. Moving on to Jupiter, this is ruled by Sagittarius. This transits every 12 to 13 months. So Jupiter doesn't really budge that much. It takes a while, pretty much a whole year, for it to transit through each sign. The planet is all about luck, abundance, happiness, growth. It's how a person finds happiness and where in life they may be lucky. My Jupiter is in Gemini, so this means that I grow through curiosity and I like to kind of go outside the walls a little bit. Okay, moving on to Saturn. This is ruled by Capricorn, and this transits every 2 to 3 years. This is all about structure, law, discipline, responsibilities. So that is a very Capricorn thing to do. Usually with the signs that rule that planet, it usually means the characteristics of that sign is about that. Having Capricorn, Saturn's all about discipline, and so is Capricorn. And then Uranus is in Aquarius, and this transits every 7 years. So Uranus is actually the one that impacts your life every 7 years. Basically, Uranus is all about unpredictable changes. It's about rebelling, inspiration, pretty much going through a bit of a life cycle. When Uranus is up, the Uranus planet, it shows where in your life change will come from. You can actually look up a future chart. So you can look up your chart in a few years and see what your Uranus is in and how it's going to change your life. And that's usually when the most impactful events in your life happen, is in Uranus, when the 7 years is up and it kind of goes through the zodiac cycle. Next is Neptune. So this is ruled by Pisces, and this transits every 10 to 12 years, but it represents dreams, intuition and imagination, and it represents where a person is most creative. Obviously it wouldn't change that much. My Neptune's in Aquarius. I find it through intellectual things. I find my inspiration through thinking. And then Pluto. So Pluto is ruled by Scorpio, and this transits every 12 to 15 years. That's a long ass time. This is all about transformation. It's about death, rebirth. Okay, so now we got through the planets. Congratulations, you're finally here. Now I'm going to talk about birth charts, which I've been mentioning throughout this whole video. Birth charts are one of my favorite things to look at. I love looking at people's birth chart. If you guys want, I'm happy to actually look at your birth chart. Just DM me on Instagram. I think that'd be really fun, not only for you guys to like help understand yourself, but also just for me, because I love reading birth charts. I mean, it's kind of like a win-win situation. So if you want to do that, please go into my Instagram. The username is below. Just DM me and I'm more than happy to give you a bit of a read. What is a birth chart? When you were born, the sky is like a screenshot of who you are. A screenshot's where the planets are in the zodiac sign. When I was born, the planet of the sun was in Libra, the moon was in Gemini, my Mars was in Virgo. I didn't know that. my Mars was in Virgo, my Mercury was in Scorpio, You get the idea. So a birth chart, it represents the positioning of the planet, the astrological aspect, and sensitive angles of birth at the time. It kind of creates a base for who you are as a person, and it kind of gives you a bit of a prediction to who you'll turn into. So with the information that you have when you were born, the time, the place, the location, it lets you figure out your life a little bit. As you grow, it obviously changes. As you evolve, as you go on your life's journey, it obviously evolves with you. And in order to understand your birth chart, you must understand your basic of astrology, which are your elements, your zodiac signs, and the planets. And then once you understand the basics of them, then you can kind of branch off into your birth chart, and then you can branch off into other birth charts, and then it kind of just like rolls on from there. I feel like I've overloaded your head with all this information. I am so sorry. I tried to simplify it as much as I could without not giving you enough information, but don't worry, there will be more astrological videos coming soon. I just want to say a massive thank you again for all your support. It really means the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon, and I hope you have a good day.